Good morning and welcome to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. We're on the cusp of a new year, and my goal today is to get you prepared mentally and physically while we discuss an outstanding entrepreneurial venture that represents the power of new beginnings. Looking back, it was 2016 when unrest in the Sherman Park neighborhood grabbed national headlines following a fatal police shooting in the community. Fast forward to 2018, the Sherman Phoenix was transformed from the fire-damaged BMO Harris building to a catalyst for unity and change. My first guests, they are the driving force behind this community gathering space. They are the co-owners of the Sherman Phoenix and Shindig Coffee, which is one of the many local businesses housed there. It's a pleasure to welcome Maanaan and Joanne Sabir. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Hi.
Thank you both for being here.
So, thank you.
And in Greek mythology, of course, we've all heard the story. You have that phoenix that obtains new life from rising from the ashes of its predecessor, and amazing symbolism when you think about the name of this new venture, the Sherman Phoenix, and the whole scenario that it grew from. So talk about the symbolism and how you got to creating this space.
It absolutely provides the foundation and allows us to assess the magnitude of points of possibility. So when we think about the Phoenix and how it rises, it really allows us to lean into all of the gifts that are in community. So this development really speaks to those gifts, provides a place to see those gifts flourish and live with the support of all of the neighbors, all who live, work, and serve in community. So the development is rooted in the possibility that through hardship, gifts are still abundant.
Yes.
Joy is still abundant. We are still present and able to collect ourselves and to find the gifts that rest within.
I love that. And so many people will know you guys from your business, the Juice Kitchen, which is on North Avenue. So you've pretty much grown that concept to Shindig Coffee, and it's there at the Phoenix. So really today we want to definitely get some tips and talk about the benefits of juicing as we go into a new year. This can be something new for people to try. But before we get there, I wanted to definitely talk about how people came together to make the Sherman Phoenix possible. So you had the City of Milwaukee, then the Wisconsin Economic Development Commission, if I'm correct, a $250,000 grant that helped pull that together, and then you had about 50 community members who put in between $1,000 and $10,000 for ownership stakes as part of this crowdfunding effort. So it really is a great example as to what can happen when the community comes together.
For sure, there's just multiple layers of support that coalesce to make this possible. So when we look at how we developed our capital stack, we had philanthropy as an option, but the damage to the building really required more than traditional bank input. So we were able to tap into philanthropy and equity investors. So our neighbors became investors. And so what does that look like? It looks like the possibility of saying, I'm an owner in this. So this belongs to me, and there's power in ownership. So there was a significant response to the call. So now we have 29 amazing businesses, which is all about relationships. And a lot of those relationships my husband brought to the table. So it was really about, thinking about how we move forward, but really leaning into those loving, solid relationships that span decades of being in community. So when we think about what happened and where we land, it really is about all of us coming together and making a decision that we're going to advance for the greater good.
Yes, for the greater good. And I don't want to forget, Julie Kaufman is also a co-founder of the Sherman Phoenix. And you had 3 angel investors, which included the Bucks Senior VP, Alex Lasry, and other individuals. So I think this whole story is amazing. And I recently visited the Phoenix, which I think that's what I'll call it, just the Phoenix for short.
Let's do it.
I loved it because you see all these small business owners who at one time just had a dream of owning their own, but then to be in this space where everybody has this common goal and this space that at one point we looked at as a catastrophe because it was gutted and it was a neighborhood bank, but everything has this full circle and it turns into something else, and you've got to be extremely proud of that.
Well, it was a definite community effort. we received a text message from Khalif Rainey about 2 days after the unrest happened in the Sherman Park area. And the text was kind of ominous because he asked whether or not we can have the juice kitchen in the area. And I was like, well, yeah, we can. He said, because we need a phoenix to rise from the ashes. And that kind of spurred us to go into action. And we usually are really methodical in a lot of our ways. And so we kind of just jumped off the cliff.
And landed right on your feet. Yes, you did. And so the Juice Kitchen, like I mentioned, it's popular and really has opened up a lot of people's psyche as to how juicing can really help them physically and just change the way they feel. And I've had Andre Lee Ellis here, and he said it helped him get rid of diabetes. So it's just a lot of positives to that. And you guys, with that particular business in itself, have had national attention from the New York Times, CNN, and ESPN, just to name a few. So what is it about your story that you like to share with people today that brought attention from all these different national headlines? They were looking at you and they saw something that was worth telling America.
Well, I think we're an anomaly. We're an anomaly in the case that we opened up a healthy food option in a desert of unhealthy food options. And so, and also we're just regular people who wanted to help the community. My son has a condition called ectodermal dysplasia, and we wanted to make sure that we healed him through the option of juicing, and we did.
Yeah.
And I think it's really about love. We have a business model, we cash flow, but really providing a space, irrespective of social economic standing, people are looking for places to be loved. And when I think about the full circle moment, the growth of the Juice Kitchen now becoming this catalytic development that is the Sherman Phoenix, there's love and trust. We have tenants that could be anywhere, that have this significant amount of talent, but trusted and wanted to be a part of a loving endeavor. So they can cash flow anywhere. They can have tenants, they have clients anywhere. But there's something about a love movement when we think about people's spirits are devoid of connection to each other. So that's an important component of the Phoenix, of the Juice Kitchen, and our forward progression in community.
Yeah, so real quick before we run out of time, you guys utilize ingredients like sweet potatoes, beets, lime, kale, and all these things for your signature juices. So quickly, for people who have never thought about even, trying juice, some people look and say, oh, I don't want that green stuff, but it's amazing, right? So what are some of the benefits?
Well, it helps detox the liver, the lungs, helps get rid of bacteria in the small and large intestines. And then most of all, and best of all, go ahead.
It tastes good. It tastes good. Get you some juice. Drink that juice.
Yes.
It is good.
And if you do a lot of the greens, then don't you just put in some pineapple or carrots, sweeten it up just a little bit?
You can sweeten it up a little bit. And also for our church-going folks and people who are kind of in the spiritual realm, Jesus did it. And majority of the spiritual people who came before us did it. So why not do it?
There's a foundation, there's a precedent, and it tastes really good. Maanaan assured us of that.
Yes, and real quick, for people who want to kick off the new year and kind of get themselves together, you guys do offer like a 3-week cleanse where people can,
so
I'm going to do it, I promise.
You can go from 1 day to 3 weeks. You can go all year if you feel like it.
All year? I'd be able to fit all my clothes again.
You're going to fall through the clothes.
So people can contact you and get more information on really taking advantage of that as well. A phone number?
Sure. The best thing to do is to come in and see us. We want to touch you and see you. 1617 West North Avenue and 3536 West Fond du Lac Avenue is the best location. Come be with us.
All right. Well, thank you all for being with us today. It's a pleasure, and I welcome you to come back anytime.
We appreciate it.
It's a pleasure. Thank you. Maanaan and Joanne Sabir, they're co-owners of the Sherman Phoenix, which houses Shindig Coffee, and they're also owners of the Juice Kitchen and other small businesses are, of course, right there in the Phoenix at 3536 West Fond du Lac Avenue. You can find out more at ShermanPhoenix.com. When we return to Our Issues Milwaukee, we'll meet another entrepreneur whose business is housed there at the Sherman Phoenix. We'll find out more about Embody Yoga right after this.